More than 300 companies are at this year's show, and organizers estimate it will draw some 80,000 visitors. In addition to the dragon dance, the robots here can provide other kinds of entertainment and also perform industrial and educational tasks. Chinese robot makers are not leading in the Chinese robot market, however. China now has several thousand companies making robots, but those companies only have 10% of the country's market share. The key components for a robot take up 70% of its cost, but 80% of those components are imported. Only a dozen Chinese makers of industrial robots have developed core technologies by themselves.
In terms of R&D, China in fact has many universities and research organizations working on that. But the academic research and industrial needs don't always fit with each other. So the next step is to make the R&D results more applicable. We have a lot of resources in China, but they are all run by different organizations. That's the reason for the current lack of coordination.
China is still at a young age in terms of making high-tech robots. Many companies have only been in the business for about 4 or 5 years, but some international players told us they think the Chinese companies' technologies and innovations are beginning to catch up. In fact, some Chinese companies are trying to buy as much as advanced robotics technology from abroad as they can. China's media, for example, has just purchased an additional 25% of German robot maker KUKA, bringing its total ownership to nearly 43% of the world-class robotics firm.
No, we see a lot of interesting technologies coming now in China. I think in the beginning they were very much looking at the big 4 or 5 robot companies and trying to follow them. But now we see some of the first innovations coming also from Chinese companies. And we are welcoming it. It will help the robot industry in total in order for all robot manufacturers to utilize and sell more robots.
Chinese companies which do possess key technologies, however, are doing quite well. Xinxiang went public 6 years ago and now sells 5 different types of robots which it has designed in-house. The company's example does not seem to be taking on in the industry, however. One industry expert says that many local companies still prefer just to import parts and assemble them here in China.
For single companies, importing and assembling will save money in the short term, because if they have to do the R&D from scratch, it would take a lot of time, and the company would miss good opportunities in the meantime. Also, innovations are very risky. A lot of companies have failed during the innovation process. So what's the most important thing is that we have to have a system that encourages innovation, and that will enable innovative companies to take advantage of market competition and prevent companies that don't innovate from stealing from the good companies.
While it is estimated that China will be the world's biggest market for smart robotics consumption in the future, that innovation is being actively pursued in other countries. The United States says it will invest $2.8 billion in making next-gen smart robots. The EU is planning to put another $900 million into its robot industries via a project called Horizon 2020. Jiayi, ICS for CCTV, Shanghai.